can't hear you.
You want a countdown?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
All right, so you can hear me.
Hey?
You can hear me.
Yeah, I'm just watching 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. I didn't know that, but that countdown come in, so I don't know how. But anyway, everyone welcome to Everything Yowie. It wouldn't be Everything Yowie if something didn't fuck up. Anyway, and this show's not for kids after saying that. Anyway, I've got to welcome my guest. Well, it's not my guest, it's my co-host. I shouldn't say guest, but you are a guest. I think I haven't got nothing to say for you, an intro for you today, but probably, he taught me how to hike in thongs. He's got the best beard since Santa Claus, and at least he's got a haircut. And, all I can say is the number one Yowie researcher from Canberra, Mr. David Reid, everyone. Yay!
Oh, well, thank you very much, Dan, and it's very nice to have me here.
Yeah, it's good to have you again, Dave. It's been about 2 months since we did Everything Yowie. And there's been plenty of going on in the last week in the Yowie world. And we're going to discuss what's been going on. So what's your take on what's been happening, Dave, in the...
Well, I don't know the background to it. I mean, it all came out very cryptic, didn't it? Like
Yeah.
I know something that you don't know, but it's really bad.
Yeah, I know.
But
And
I
that
think
video...
anybody who's comes out against that AYR footage needs to be looked at because it's pretty hard to discredit that.
Yeah, well, this guy by the name of Lionel Carroll, anyway, he runs the Far North Queensland Paranormal Yowie whatever channel on YouTube. Facebook if you want to get on there. And he's come up and he's posted this. I'll put it on the screen. I'll share the screen. Give me 1 sec. Screen. Entire screen. Should say entire screen. Okay, share. So I should be sharing my screen now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, all right. It's just got to turn up. So he comes up with this, which says, this is by Lionel Carroll. On his page, here's the admin. It says, thermal hoax. I want to bring something to light. Everyone deserves to know. 1 week before AYR released the thermal footage of supposed 2 Yowies to the world, Gary Lynn told me they wanted to play a prank on Cade from Believe podcast and that they was going to make something to freak him right out with the newly obtained thermal. I rest my case. I said that loud because it was in capitals. I believe the thermal is a hoax. So he believes the thermal is a hoax. So how can you wouldn't want him as your lawyer. He rests his case, but he believes. He hasn't got certain 100% proof because you don't say, I believe. You show the 100% proof. You don't say, I believe. So he's already making himself look like a dumbass there. Based on what I was told, with a little exclamation mark, it was made as a joke to prank a podcast. I believe it's Gary Lynn and another in the footage of themselves. There are a few holes and changes in the story to appearing on Cade's podcast and the photos taken after the fact. Well, with a question mark. It's not a question, so you shouldn't have a question mark there. Don't even match up to the thermal landscape. Maybe this is why he was banished from AYR. All right. So
it's all a conspiracy, is it? It's
well,
conspiracy. It's just conspiracy by Dean, Gary, Buck, and whoever else was there that night, and it was all aimed at hoaxing Cade.
Yeah. So
am I hearing this right?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
And
And
as you pointed out during the week, you owned that thermal model well before Dean's crew got hold of it.
yeah, I
And
did. I haven't got it. Haven't got it. I've got it in a cupboard there, but it's a guide IR 50 millimeter thermal. Anyone can buy it. They're around $3,500. And like you said, I owned it probably a good 4 or 5 months before Dean purchased his ones. And the reason why he purchased is because I showed on Yowie groups that I was on back then their capability. You can see planes, you can see the thermal image of a plane in the sky, and I got my wife to send a bit of video footage of me about 300 meters away, and even at 300 meters away, which is uh, a fair distance, you could still see that I was wearing a jumper and jeans, tracksuit pants because the thermal footage wasn't universal, wasn't one color like what Buck got on his thermal, which was that one bright yellow color,
yeah, yeah,
which does you can go through the black or the red, but that bright yellow one, which is called iron hot, there's white hot, black hot, red hot, iron hot. If you're wearing like I was 300 meters away, clothes, the creases in the clothes give off different heats and shadows. So it doesn't give you one universal white, yellow color that means that the same amount of heat is coming off the body everywhere. Unless you take all your clothes off and walk around with no clothes on, you won't get that universal color. You'll see the creases in there, and that was from 300 meters away. And Buck got this because I was there when we filmed Tracking the Law, and Buck got this, and they must have been a maximum of I'd say 25 meters away, if that. It was really close. It wasn't far
yeah,
away. And for something that close, you would clearly see the folds in the clothes. Like you wear that, you can see folds in your
yeah.
clothes, and they create different heat signatures. And you can see the clothes anyway. You can see zippers and everything.
Yeah, I've seen it through your thermal. In fact,
Yeah, you can clearly.
it's unmistakable.
Yeah. So what he's
It,
saying
it,
there is just he's got some sort of I don't know, something against Gary Lynn, which is Gary's never been anything but honest in anything he's done. And he's saying something about I know why AYR split up and all that. I know why AYR split up, but I was told. But that was under personal people just chatting between each other, and but that's what he's saying is anything but what happened. So he's just got a gripe against Gary and maybe Sarah and Dean, and he's just
oh
split
no,
his
definitely
out there.
Sarah as well. He
Yeah,
made this claim that Sarah was all about the money, apparently. So
there's anything but that. Anything but that. There's nothing about that.
yeah,
And that's between Gary, Sarah, and Dean, and they've gone their own ways and forgotten about it and done their own thing. And now this guy comes in and he starts making a video, with AI video, and I'm
yeah, I
like,
saw the
what the
AI
hell?
video. Yeah, I saw the
Yeah,
AI video. That was pretty tacky.
yeah, I was. It was like he was up at night and he's had about 3 long nights of metho with Leona drunk with the Busters, and he's decided to make a video about someone. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I
And
don't
if
know.
anyone
Maybe he's just trying to gain clout off the whole thing, or
don't really know, Dave.
he's been really, really misinformed, and
Well,
run with it.
it's not the first time. He's actually sent stuff to Gary and gone off and next minute he's deleted everything. And then he's made these posts that he's made and other things he's gone on about. He's posted them in his group, and after a certain amount of time, which could be half an hour, 10 minutes, could be an hour, he's deleted it all. So he's gone on, and the next one he's gone on, he's made this one. I'll just do the entire screen. All right. So then he's come out and he said this, which is there will be a new segment added. The Forked Silver Togue, Toug, it must be tongue, but he obviously doesn't spell check. Award. This award will given. So I'm reading it how he wrote it. This award will given to the person who we believe is spewing the most turds. Every month I will put names up for nominations, then we will vote. Well, mate, I'll be doing the polls for the Golden Thong. So he's pitched my idea. He can't even make his own idea up. So he's put Gary Lynn, fake thermal hoax. Yowie Dan nominated me for his own shitty award. Well, I probably did. I'm not telling no lies. I did. Yeah, he's in the Golden Thong. He's actually leading the Golden Thong this year. Stets won the last 2 years. Stets from the Yowie Busters, and I think Stets has got to step up his game if he's going to make it a three-peat, like Kingston Town in the Cox Plate. And he's got Cade Muir. I don't know who Cade Muir is. I think it was Cade Moyer who's believed, but I'm not sure who Cade Muir is. Long-time professional arse lick to Yowie community, contributing zero. Well, he's only a podcaster. He's not a researcher, and he only interviews people that have had encounters and sightings and weird things that are happening. And if you want to listen to him, you listen to him. If you don't, you don't. But I don't think he's ass licking to anyone. So Cade's a really genuine bloke, and Lionel is really, just been absolute fucktard here in calling Cade Muir, whoever Cade Muir is, an arse lick. So that's not a good thing to say about a guy that's a really a top bloke. So anyway,
Oh, well, as they say in tropical North Queensland, mate, they go troppo. The heat gets them. The heat gets them.
I think he's been putting too many Victorian magic mushrooms in the metho that Leona Drunk has, and just has a couple of shots of it.
Anyway, regardless of that, Dan, I think it's actually quite slanderous of the work that Dean, Gary, and Buck and Sarah. It was just pointless. It's just absolutely pointless, and I think anybody who pays any attention to it needs to just go and have a look at the original footage and make up their own mind. If you're following this guy's explanation, like the whole thing of I know something you don't know, well, come out with it, mate, fair dinkum.
He didn't know anything, mate, because anything he put out there was just all rubbish, and it was just trying to get shit stirred up and trying to stir them guys up. They've already settled their differences, and they've gone their own ways, and that's been some time now. So obviously, for some reason, he's got rolled up and wanted to, do things at Gary, and he says that Gary pinched his research or something and talking about it on a podcast where Gary does a lot of research himself. I don't think he'd want to waste his time with anything that Lionel Carroll does, because I really haven't seen anything that Lionel's actually posted that's significant. He hasn't.
First I've ever heard of him.
Oh, I've heard of him a few years ago, and what he done then, he hasn't done anything much since. So, he's up in the far north Queensland. I'm not saying there's nothing up there, but he's just a guy that's he shouldn't have been doing this kind of shit. That's all it is. Like, it's just I don't know. Does he want to try and get members to his group or something? I'm not quite sure. It's just
anyway, the whole thing's bizarre.
Yeah, it is
bizarre. But anyway, you only have to have a look at the original footage. And there's videos on it. It's been broken down. There's been interviews of everybody involved in the footage the night it was captured. I think it's pretty hard to poke any holes in it.
Yeah, well, that footage. like I said, I've used that thermal, and when I first saw that, I was just like, my eyes just kind of burst out of my head because I'm thinking, how wide is these shoulders? And look, Gary's a pretty big guy, all right, but he hasn't got shoulders that are like 3 to 4 foot wide.
Yeah,
No human has, and you can tell that. And the size of the top of the arms are just like round like soccer balls. And I'm like, look, Gary's a big guy, but he's not that bloody big. And I'm like, even the guy that Lou Ferrega, I don't know his surname, but he played the
yeah,
Hulk, and he
yeah,
was a massive guy, and still this thing was bigger than him, and he was a massive guy. Like,
yeah,
I just went there. No, no. The footage where you just see all that light yellow color, you can't fake that with a thermal, because, like I
yeah,
said, if you got clothes on, you would see the folds. Plus, if you take your clothes off, you got no one that's that big. So this Lionel guy is just talking shit. He's just got a gripe, and that's about all it is.
yeah. All right. Well, we should leave it there and put it in the bin like it deserves to be put.
Put it in the bin, but he's voted.
Yeah.
He's leading the golden thong at the moment. So
All right.
yeah, so he
Oh
might win
well,
his third thong.
he's only an early leader, mate. In the
Early
Yowie
leader.
World, anybody could turn up in the next 8 months or 9 months.
Oh, there's plenty of them
So
out there. Yeah,
yeah,
but but
so,
but, but what we're doing and what I'm doing with the Yowie Forum is like putting these people out there and showing what bullshit that they are posting. Because if you're a researcher and you're putting in a lot of effort and you're spending a lot of money and doing the right thing, and not lying or bullshitting, these people are detracting in what you're doing to make other people outside the Yowie community will think you're just a fool, looking for something that's a creature that doesn't exist, when you're really you're doing the right thing. But yeah, he's just an idiot. Anyway, that's all we've got to talk to you about tonight. It's going to be just a little quick one for us. And
yeah.
anyway, before we go, Dave, what have you been up to? Any kind of research down in your area?
No, but there are things being planned on the group chat.
Mm.
So I don't know. I'm a bit of a follower when it comes to them organising, because it could be anywhere from the Southern Highlands down to Bombala. So
um,
I just point the GPS in the right direction when they decide where they're going.
well, look, I haven't done any research this year. The only reason, because I had my operation with my Achilles, and it took me 5 months to 6 months to get over that. And now that it's summertime, it's a bit hard to go to places because of the snakes and all that, where I want to go. So I'm planning on next year. Plus, to carry a pack, I need my right leg to get strengthened up. So that's why I've been doing a lot of historical videos, which I've enjoyed. And I'm hiking in with a little light pack and just getting that right leg. It's still, I reckon, about 65% to about carry a pack into hard regions. And next year, I'm looking into going through the Jamison Valley, which I can't do at the moment because the federal pass is closed. If you go down the Golden Staircase, which is on the right hand side of the Three Sisters, and you go along Narrow Neck, and then you go down, and we want to go straight through the Jamison Valley, and that was where that SAS AYR report that the guy did was talking about, and I think it was in the 1980s. And we're going to walk straight through that area and probably spend a night in there, and then hike out the next day, and then hike up through the Furber Steps. That's up near the Scenic World, where the Scenic Railway is, and hike out there and then go home. So that's going to be next year, but I need to get fit for that. But I really want us to go down to the Clyde Mountain down
Yeah,
near Bates Bay area. We're
yeah.
speaking about that.
Not Mogo so much as Monga. Monga National Park's right on the top of the Clyde there,
Yeah,
up coming from Braidwood, and
yeah. So
used to have a patch, used to have a patch of Gondwana land forest.
yep.
I think it burnt down during the fires, but it all seems to have recovered since the fires. I mean, it's been a while now.
Yeah, I remember going through there to see Rusty years ago, and I was going down the hill there slow in but it Decline Mountain. I thought I got to come down here. There's anything could be in here because the trees are massive and it's old growth, and I'm thinking there's got to be stuff down here. So it'd be a good place to camp and for a day or two, and it's not too far down the coast, and for both of it for us to get to. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's all for the future. 2025, I'm going to plan a lot to do, and I'm also looking at going back to Barrington Tops because I've been to the Pilliga a few times, but I know they talk about the Pilliga, but it's very dry. It is very dry, and we've been out there 3 times, and really nothing's happened. I think you've got to go into the right place in the Pilliga near the water, and a lot of places you can't get to because they're private, and everything else is a dust bowl. And so we went to the Barrington, and like we got the footage of one there,
yeah. I
and
was there that night.
yeah, you were there, and that was 2018, 2017, or 2018. I think it was 2018, June or July. We went
Yeah,
there, -7, really cold.
yeah.
And when we went back there to do some filming for track search for Australia's Bigfoot, we actually spoke to a national parks lady, and she was an Aboriginal, and she said, "Yeah, they're here, and you can ask anyone that lives around here in the farms, and they've all seen them." But we weren't talking about the big ones; we were talking about the small ones. And she said, "Yeah, they're here," and they said that's exactly what we filmed. It wasn't a big one; it was only small.
No.
Yeah,
It would have been 5 foot, 6 foot, I reckon.
yeah, about that size. Yeah, it wasn't massive, like 17,
No.
10 foot, 12 foot, but
Certainly was.
yeah.
It certainly wasn't a person. I mean, that's
Oh no,
really good. That's really good footage. Katie's got that.
yeah, Katie got that. I was actually in the bush to the right, and I wasn't. My whole thing was like, I'm going to film this way, looking to my right. I'm not going to go to the left because all you guys are about 5 meters on the road behind me, and you're all pointing your torches in something. And if there's something going to be there, you guys will see it. And now I wish I'd pointed it that way more often because I might have just seen it walking through the bush. And people will say, "Well, how come you didn't see it?" Because it wasn't exactly open. The area I was looking at straight ahead was open, but to the left it was really like a lot of vines, and it was
Mm.
like a blind, and it kind of went in between that and me, and I didn't see it.
Oh,
And then
you shocked the shit out of it, mate. We were wandering up that road. It was on the left hand side, just off in the scrum, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, you've gone. I'm going in here. And you went off with your torches, and that's when Katie followed you with the video, and it left it to the last second, and it's gone, bloody hell, he's going to see me,
mm,
and it moved off. It's it's pretty obvious to what happened to it,
well,
but yeah, that shows you. I mean, we could have wandered up and down past. We would have wandered up and down past it twice if you hadn't have stepped off the road.
when we got up to the top and the road was getting too steep, I heard a wood knock, and I actually had it on a recording. I've lost all that because of the computer died. I didn't put it on a hard like external hard drive. But as we were walking down, I thought I saw a shadow fly past, like something move in the bush, and I thought it might have been the torches because we all had torches and there's shadows going everywhere. And I was like, something's going on here. So when we got down that area, that was the first area that I could walk in, that I could get in there because it was really hard. It was just like a wall of
Yeah,
bush. And
yeah,
I got in there and I was like, oh, this is the only place. And that was probably a good 100 meters till the bottom of the road, turned around and then went down to the campsite. And I walked in and I heard nothing. I smelt nothing. And it was like nothing. Now I just turned around and walked away. But, he snuck, he kind of come in from the side and he was kind of like he was crouching down. And then he
yeah,
stood up and then he took
and,
off and went in the bush.
yeah.
So, yeah, that was
And he
interesting.
didn't
So,
have, he didn't have to move off far to get away, but he left it to the last second. Like
Yeah, he
you've
did.
shocked him. You've shocked him. And it was just pure coinky dink that it happened that way.
Well, he did stay behind that bush there because when the torches were there, he come in and he didn't exactly rise straight away. Because remember, Cody
No,
going, there he is, there he is.
he left it to the last second. He's gone, oh no, I'm gonna get sprung here.
Would you be able to come up if we go next year? Would you be able to come up again?
Yeah, I should be able to, mate, see what's
Yeah,
happening at the
because
time. But
I had a chat with the tiller and I say we're going to go out somewhere and do like maybe a small little doco or something. And I said I'll get I'll try and get Dave and someone else I know to come up and probably get about 5 or 6 of us, and we can try and go to different areas during that night, like drive up the road and stop, and then just have thermals. We've got a couple of thermals, and we'll try and see if we can get something at different areas,
yeah.
you know, and we'll
I
see how
think
we go.
people would have to appreciate how thick the bush is. Like it's pretty overgrown.
Well, there hasn't been a fire go through that area for a while. The only problem was that when we tried to go in there last time, the rain come up and it had a big sinkhole in the road, and they had to rebuild the road back up. So that's why we couldn't. That's why we couldn't go in there, and otherwise we're going to go in there. So
All
yeah,
right, well, 2025 sounds like it'll be the year, mate. But
yeah.
anyway, keep your ear to the ground in the Yowie world. See if anything needs to come to the public's attention, and I'll see you again on another Everything Yowie.
Yeah, well, we're the only ones that bring it to everyone's attention. Anyway, Dave, thanks for joining me. And as I always say, Dave.
Always hiking thongs.
Yes. See you, everyone. Till next time. Bye.
Right.